Hello, guys of United Rock Nations. We are an amazing company with Leigh of Pop Evil. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thanks so much for having me on.
We are here to talk about the new album Skeletons. It will be released in a few days. How is your feeling about this new album?
I'm so stoked. I feel like it's taken forever and finally out. It's all good things in the pop people world. So I can't be more excited.
Our impression is that the songs are heavier with huge guitar riffs. So, how it comes like this?
I just think it's just how coming off again. I don't want to talk about the pandemic a ton because I'm sure people are sick of it. But coming off the pandemic, there's just a lot of built up emotion and a lot of negativity, man. That we've had to bury, voices in your head, the demons, all of it. We've had to push down, and I think that what you're seeing is as we get back in the studio, there's that push to get back to our roots, right? It's to get back to the things that matter the most, and that was the band. That was like, you know, the things that made us whole again, right? And I think that just naturally, what you're seeing is you're seeing the aggro come out in different ways. That the guitar just got that, it's got that power, right? Like when you're in love with the guitar or guitar sound, there's only like the guitar can do, man. It can heal, and you saw a lot of you hear a lot of healing for us individually, certainly for me on this record, and there's and you hear that healing with fun, upbeat tempos, melodic, soaring, uplifting lyrics. Like used a lot of the energy on this album to help get me out of a lot of dark places. So definitely, I think that's one of the things that make this album so special.
There is also a modern sound with electronic effects. How did you manage them and add them during the writing sessions?
Well, I think that it goes deeper than that for us. You know, it's like you deal with this struggle in the new world or in the world with this new technology and the old school way of how we used to do things. You know, and even when you look at touring, you know, it's like you used to have all these touring roadies and crew members. Well, now one of them has to get booted because you got to bring in a social media guy. It's like what is that? You know, so I think that this new era of technology or just the way the world's growing and moving at such a fast rate, it's changed the way that we write in the studio and not shying away from. I think you get that plus and minus or that yin and yang from Pop Evil. It is that way of us dealing with that, you know, and handling that. You hear that on this record with, or even on the past two records, how we've been able to push the digital thing and kind of find our niche with it. You know, I mean, yes, we're still experimenting, and yes, certainly there's fans that probably like it better than others, but at the end of the day, it's not going anywhere because the technology in studio is just better. I mean, when you hit a button and it's cool sound that comes out, you're like, wow, like, and you think to yourself, well, if other people can use it, why can't we use it and try? You know, so there's different elements that come about it, and as you start to get more open to it, more comfortable, you can then start to shape your identity and evolve with it being a part of it. And you know, it's interesting when you're doing those things and adding those elements, the kid comes back out in you again. Like when you first started, right? You first started the guitar tone, you're like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like, oh wow, I want to write some music. But it's somewhere along the line after you make records and this guitar tones, or maybe you get complacent and your guitar tone's the same as your last record because you had success with that. Like we didn't want to do any of that stuff. It's like, look, we want new, fresh, because it keeps our energy fresh. You know, I've even as much gone to just keep it fresh and energy for me. The album's been done for about a year, so I haven't even listened to it. I was like, look, I don't want to listen to it. I don't want any copies. I mean, I don't know if it was finals, all of it was fully done, but certainly the songs were demo done enough where I had the album about a year ago. So I didn't want to hear it because I didn't want it to be old and stale for me when I actually had to perform it. You know, so I mean, there's little elements now that I like to call it maturity in the journey for me that I've been able to know my own strengths and weaknesses. That when I get 2 years or a year and a half into this project and I'm like tired of it, I don't like that feeling. I want it to still be fresh for as long as possible for our fan base. I think that they deserve that. They're going to spend money and most importantly spend their time coming to see us. They deserve a frontman who's excited about the songs he wrote, you know, and they don't care that I've had 10 shows in a row and my back's killing me or my voice is sore. They don't care about that stuff. They want to hear the songs they love and the songs that have become a part of their lives, and they want to hear you on your A game at all times. So, you know, we really want to give our fans the best Pop Evil experiences possible when they come into our world. And having fun with digital things was a small part of like evolving and being open to whatever's best for the song. And the way it was shaped and the way it's come out on this album is just incredible. We're very proud of it. I mean, the blend and how it's kind of still you get little precursors of where we can even take Pop Evil in the future. It's just exciting. Again, it feels like it's just a fresh start, man. And that's why Skeletons felt like the perfect name. That we're just getting back to our roots, man. We're just coming back to like when it was all new to us again, and it's all like all the dreams and all the possibilities are all right in front of us again, and that's what I think makes this album so special for me personally.
Let's talk about the lyrics. What are the main topics you talk about on the new songs?
Well, I think every song is a little different, eh? So you'd have to ask me the specific, but I know for sure the interesting thing about this album for me was I didn't want to overthink it. I think when I look back on previous albums, you're always okay, I got to do this. What does it mean? What does it mean? He asked me what a song mean, I didn't even care. I don't care what it means. It's about what it means to you. I don't care. Like, I wrote it. It felt right to me, and I know what it means to me. Does that mean it's the interesting thing for songs? I don't think fans always understand is even if I think it means ABC when it starts, it's not going to mean that at the end. Like it's going to mean XYZ at some point in my life. So I don't spend time thinking on something. I don't waste time on my life anymore on stuff that doesn't matter, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like what it means to me doesn't matter. Was it stem from something? Of course. It was stem from the darkness that I was dealing with during this pandemic. It's very simple. Like we had, for the first time in my life, I mean, my career was really like it was really thrown up in front of my face. Like, is it over? Like, is this it? Like, I mean, and even if we come back, is it going to be the same? And to be honest, it's not the same. I mean, it's if anything, it's more challenging because the opportunities are fewer because, a lot of things didn't come back and there's just as many bands that still need those same opportunities. So it's so competitive. It's very tough, and it's just a different landscape that's very stressful. And I didn't want to stress this out. I knew that stressing is not going to get me anywhere. So I made sure if it felt right stemming from the demo, then let's keep it, in a couple of days. If it still feels good, let's finish the song. If not, next song, scrap it. Let's write another one, so if you're a true good musician, you should be able to write another song. Let's go, whatever. So we were trying to put the pressure on us in a fun way rather than, oh my God, that song's, we got to finish it, and if it was, we still felt it was a great song, but we just couldn't finish it, save it for the next record. I doubt it'll get released, but still, you never know. At least you got a little bit of momentum, and again, but overthinking it wasn't. I just knew that we wanted to take some kind of positive message out of the darkness. So you see a lot of that positivity. You see a lot of signs. You see a lot of similarities to Survival because let's be real. I mean, I don't care if you're Metallica. I mean, you're one life situation from being done. You're never safe in this business, whether, I don't need to get in specifics. We all can imagine what they could be. So you have to play every album, every show like it should last, and I think that as you get older and your catalog grows, you understand that differently. There's a respect there that you have for your journey that you want to embody and send, positivity with that as well. And you want to encompass it with this positive vibe, and you want to have a purpose, right? And that purpose is to just hopefully help somebody else, even if it's for that split second that they just know they're not alone. Like, oh wow, there's voices in my head. I have voices in my head. Oh my God, yeah, I feel the same way. So it was, again, not overthinking that, but just giving people 3 or 4 minutes of just a moment in time where they can listen to a song and go, yeah, man. Even if it just gives them a smile, man, give somebody hope. Like with all the messages that we're hearing, with World War III and doomsday approaching, I mean, I just think there needs to be more. Like the least we can do as musicians is just give hope. And give people a purpose to get through the day with a smile on their face. It's like, think back when we were kids, playing in the sandbox. It didn't matter boy or girl, what color they were, long hair, short hair. We were just excited to have a friend to play with, and I think that somewhere along the lines, there's a darkness that comes over us. And we, suddenly the thing that makes human beings amazing, which is our differences, suddenly now that's our flaw, and I mean, it's clear we weren't designed to look alike. We were always meant to be different, to make this species so unique and so brilliant, and somewhere in there, there's so many selfish things that encompass this world, even in the competition that makes music. And I don't know why it has to even be so competitive, right? There's no rule that says you can't have any band you want on your playlist. It's unlimited. So I mean, I get it, but especially in rock and metal, people are so, there's a pride there for their band that they have. They claim you, and then you're expected to sound that way and do whatever they want you to do for their lifetime. And I respect that. I certainly had bands that I wanted to do the same thing. And Pop Evil's been very lucky or unlucky that we've been able to write the music that we wanted to at all times. And I think that's been a plus at times, but it's also been a negative. And I think that for the first time in a long time with Pop Evil, this album sounds sonically like the same band, which is very important it was very important to the band that we wanted to, no more mixed messages with that. We want to say, look, we hear a fan base. They have expectations for us. We want to certainly acknowledge those, but at the same time, challenge ourselves, whether it's with digital elements that you said, or manipulating my voice or taking my voice to different places, that I haven't been before in previous albums. Then we want to still do those things and grow, but we still want to understand that we do have a fan base. We have a new fan base that's on the horizon that doesn't even know they will become fans. So we want to embrace them too. And just be open to whatever's best for the song, whatever's best for the band, and hopefully fill that at the core with positivity, man, some hope that can we can be a band that fans can look to when they need some help. And I think back on all those times in my life when I needed a doctor, a teacher, or even parents at the time, and they weren't there for me. The one thing that was music, So I think there's a responsibility that we share collectively as a band, that we want to get back to the world and put that out there. And at least I can feel good when I put my head down the pillow that I'm at least trying to send positivity out there in a world that there's just so much negative. So that's kind of, where my head was at. And I certainly can speak for the band on that we all want to relay that positive message, something we're proud of. And, if the song doesn't fit it, then okay, we'll go what's best for the song. But if the song, gives us an opportunity to, to help someone, then we certainly don't shy away from it.
There's two featuring on this new album, Blake Allison from Devour the Day and Ryan Kirby from Fit for a King. Tell us more about those two collaborations.
Yeah, well, as we were finishing the album, we were having a lot of fun. So we thought, the thing came up that's like, maybe we can have some collaborations, if that's something that we'd all be interested in. And the more we talked about it, we were all like, yeah, dude, let's just see where it goes, and I know with Kirby, he's a metal icon. I mean, his voice is amazing. It's unbelievable. And we knew when we were finishing Dead Reckoning that it was the heaviest song in the Pop Evil catalog, and we wanted to approach metalcore in a way that we hadn't before. And we definitely have that side in our band, but we haven't had that. I mean, we started it as a radio band. So, I mean, in those days when we started, metalcore wouldn't get played. So we were like, well, we kind of got pushed in ways, not maybe intentionally from people, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen, and I know that, as we talk to our fans, that we have a big metal following with a legion of fans that want that from us. And it was just time. It was like, look, this felt like the right song. And talking to our producer, Drew Falk, he's like, well, maybe Kirby would drop on this. Let me text him, and Kirby loved it. I think within a 24-hour span, he had written his verses. He had already recorded it. And I sent it back over to us, and we flipped. We're like, wow, this is special, man. Like, I don't know what our fan base is going to think, but we love it, And so we finished it, and dialed it in and put it out there. And, the response, obviously, since we released it, has been through the roof. And it's, it's open to, more stuff like that from us in the future. I've definitely, I want to scream a little more. I want to do it the right way, though. So I think before I just go ripping at it, I better do it before I lose my voice entirely. I got to have surgery. So there's definitely, I can admit that it's been a little bit of fear on my end that I don't know if I'm doing it right, because a lot of my friends that do scream, they have this whole protocol, and they're very particular on pampering their voice to do it the right way. So I know nothing about that. So I think, moving forward, yeah, it'd be fun to kind of take my voice in different ways and to see what we could create. But the collaborations on this record were very natural. And then with Blake Allison, Blake and Joey are in the band Egypt Central, and that was the first band that brought us on our first tour when we started all those years ago. So there's a link between us as brothers. And the song was called Wrong Direction. And I feel like for a lot of times in our career, we were going the wrong direction for their band, our band. So it was awesome to kind of, now that we've joined forces in a way and to team up, it was awesome to kind of use that song and the theme, The Wrong Direction, to kind of, it led us to ourselves. And, we're certainly enjoying each other in ways that are more positive off the stage. So it just felt like those Wrong Directions have led to a positive thing for us to be back together in a way to be able to create. So I thought it was awesome to not only have Blake featured on it, but I wanted him to do the lead. So he's doing the lead in the chorus as well. So I just thought it was awesome for me to take the back seat and to see what I could learn from that experience, and when we started to record the vocals, it was just fire, man. It was just turned out really special. It was really awesome. And we just thought, let's see what the fans think, let's do something a little different. And certainly we liked it. And it was something that we were kind of doing on the tour bus, and in the dressing rooms for about a year and a half. So to finally get that song out, it's got a lot of personal meaning to, I know, myself, Blake, and Joey especially. And, we're excited to maybe, get to play that one live together as well. So moving forward, if they go well, it's possible more collaborations in the future. But for now, we're excited about these ones and to see what the fans think.
So thank you for all these informations about the new album Skeletons, and we hope to see you very soon here in France.
Thank you.
Ha ha ha!